Okay, here, Jan, the master is Koe. So Koe, whenever you want, I think we can start now.
Okay.
Okay. So hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in these very interesting times. And what first I want to tell you is this claim that we put to all of you for this webinar, Exponential Learning in Times of Disruption. Exponential learning. Is it possible to learn exponentially while most of us are working at home, cannot go out, there is a disruption in the way we work, we connect, we relate to each other? We claim it's not only possible, but it's even very simple. So it is very important that you trust us, our experience, that what I'm going to explain to all of you, it's simple, but it works. And I would even say it works because it's simple, but you need to try it at home 5, 8 times, and then you will see how powerful it is. I will come back to this at the end of the webinar, okay? So we are going to explore all of this. This may not make a lot of sense right now because there are many parts to it. Maybe what makes most sense right now is here that we are all at home, attending the webinar, working with colleagues, maybe with clients, with our family there. Okay, but I'm going to explore each of these parts here so that at the end, all makes sense, and most importantly, the method, which is the expansive circle, makes a lot of sense to you. And we will apply this to 2 situations. So this is going to be what we are going to deal with in this webinar. First, I'm going to explain to you 3 major concepts that are important so that you can understand the expansive circle. First concept is the concept of abundance. Second concept is the concept of conversations worth having. Third concept that you know from the invitation of the webinar is positive deviance. And with all of this, you will be able to understand and put into practice the expansive circle that, as I said, we will apply today in the webinar in 20 minutes from now to the situations working from home and also being together in home as a family, and then a short wrap up. So let's start. Deficit versus abundance. Normally in companies, we look at things that don't work. We at Madavi, with the use of appreciative inquiry, we always look at what we have. When a machine is broken, you look for the problem, you fix it, it works. But we as human beings, or a system as an organization of human beings, we are not wrecked. We are not a problem that needs to be fixed. There is always a potential, there is always abundance, there is always strength. So, for instance, one good news I can give you today in this webinar is that we've been told that we all have strengths and weaknesses. I can tell you today we have no weaknesses, because what's a weakness for a human being? A weakness is something you don't have. You only can do things with the things you have, which are your strengths. We will talk about our strengths at home right now. So that's the concept of abundance. We at Madavi like to tell a story about abundance, which is, think of 10 women from Afghanistan and Syria going to the US, asking for political asylum. They've been granted it. And now you are whatever, the person in charge in the municipality of New York, they have already been granted asylum. And then, okay, what do I do with this woman? How can I help them? And I'm going to show you how different it is to be optimistic and to be an expert in appreciative inquiry, to be appreciative. Being appreciative is much more than being optimistic. An optimistic person would say, okay, these women, then you realize they never work from home. They don't know English, but not only that, they are analphabets. They don't know how to write. So, but no problem, we are in New York. I can teach them to write in Farsi. Then I will teach them English, and then a year from now, they will be cleaning maybe in the underground. That's an optimistic person. But an appreciative person asked each one of them, this is a real story, please tell me something that you did back in Afghanistan that you were very proud of, that your family, your friends liked very much. And at the end, each of them could cook several meals very, very extremely successfully, extremely well. And they started a takeaway restaurant in New York that is working today. So if this woman had all these strengths that make them a good living in New York, we have many more strengths that we can apply right now. That's looking at abundance. Okay. The other concept I'm going to talk to you about is about conversation worth having. Conversations worth having. What is a conversation worth having? It's a conversation where you have two outcomes. You exit the conversation with more energy, more optimistic, more willing to do things, and with more ideas to be successful. Okay, most of the positive conversation we have with friends, family, and at organizations are, here we have, sorry, first I would say we have two axes. One is this, which is based in deficit, the appreciative conversation, and this is, which is appreciative, based on abundance. And then we have affirmative conversations based on a statement, or inquiry-based, based on questions. Okay, so the good conversations that we normally have are these ones, are a statement-based and abundance-based, which is somebody does something good, and then what do we say? Hey, you did a great job, congratulations. What does the other person say? Ah, thank you very much. And the conversations are over. But if you have a conversation abundance-based, but inquiry-based with questions, you don't stop at, hey, congratulations, you did a great job. No, you question that person, you inquire, you want to know how he did it, you want to learn. Please tell me, how did you achieve this? Who helped you? Which strengths of yours put into place? Which other people you contacted? And then you learn a lot from that conversation. You not only have much more energy, but you exit with much more ideas to be successful. And besides those two, we have another two conversations. One is inquiry-based, but deficit-based, which is when something is wrong, you ask, why is this wrong? Normally, in companies, when something is wrong, or when some numbers are not achieved, every big director wants to know why. But when there is a success, normally we don't want to know why. Does it make sense? Of course not. So, but we have this type of conversations. You may have some ideas to be successful, but the energy is very low. And then you have the critical conversations that never ever make sense, which is you complain about everything, or even about third parties, or it was you, no, it was me, so who's guilty? These conversations make no sense. I am going to leave you with a short question. During these difficult weeks, these weeks of disruption, which percentage of conversations are you having in each of the four quadrants? The methods we are going to tell you today are going to facilitate you to have many more conversations worth having at home and at the family, so that you can exit those conversations with more energy, being happier, and with more ideas to be successful. That's the concept of conversations worth having. Then we have the concept of positive deviance. What is positive deviance? Positive deviance looks towards achieving the exceptional with the same resources. And I'm going to tell you a very successful story. You can Google it in the internet, that happened in Vietnam 25 years ago. So there were some people from the NGO Save the Children. Here is one of them. And they faced a problem in many villages in Vietnam, that there was a lot of malnutrition in the rural areas of Vietnam. And then, okay, you can think one solution, bring a lot of aid, bring food from whatever more richer countries, try to distribute it so that the children, but this takes a lot of time, it's difficult. But these people, they were smart. They first looked for positive deviance. They asked themselves, are there any families in the region, in these rural areas, whose children are healthy? And they found a few of them in a few villages. And then they studied what they were doing differently. That is the positive deviance. Why they were deviated from the average with the same resources. That's very important, because there were no specific resources. The thing is, they were doing 1 meal more a day. Instead of 3, they were giving the children 4 meals a day, and they were collecting some shrimps and small fish that grew in the rice fields. that most of the family thought that it was not suitable for children. But some families use them and their children were healthy. So, and then after that, you copy, you extend this positive deviance to the other villages, and immediately all the children began to improve. That's the concept of positive deviance. And with these three concepts, abundance, conversations worth having, and positive deviance, we are ready to explain to you the expansive circle. Don't worry, because all of you which attended the webinar, you will have the big picture at the beginning, which comprises all these small parts I'm showing you here. So what's the expansive circle? It's a method for exponential learning. As I told you with the invitation of the webinar, in this webinar, you will not find a specific advice on how to work more successfully at home. You will find a method and with some questions, and you will find the solutions, because it's you who have the answers to all the change and the learning you need. So the expansive circle consists of three movements, 3 times. First one, what we call the best. We look for abundance on what we have, whether it is the family, being at home now, whether it is with your colleagues. Each one of, I know several companies, we've been working with some companies that they are working from home, and they are working as a team looking for what is working for them right now. That's looking for the best. Don't worry, we will do 2 examples after that. Well, basically you will do it. I will put the examples to you and you will do it. Okay, so we look for the best of what we want to achieve. If we want to work better collaboratively from home, we look what is working right now. What is the best that is working? This is the first part. Once we have that, we have discovered this as a team or as a family, then we co-create, we discuss for some time on how can we apply this knowledge, or how can I apply this, what I learned from a colleague of mine that is working in another city or in another country. Can we do that? How can we implement this? Maybe we need to adapt. It's not just to take the positive deviance that work for some of your colleagues, immediately put it here. Maybe you need to adapt a little bit. That's why you need to co-create and you need to do different things. But this is how what we have learned, it worked. How can we make it better? How can I make it better for me and better for my colleagues? And then the third part, which is very important, is collective action. Only individual and collective action change things, change companies, change families, changes you in the first place. Individual and collective action. We call it collective because we always work with teams or even with hundreds of people in companies. But at the end, it's each of us which has to do collective action. But because of the step 1 and step 2, your mind and maybe your paper is full of ideas that you can put into practice. Next day, next week, that's the third part. Okay, so now we are going to apply this simple model to 2 different situations, as I told you. One is how to work better from home as a team. Most of you will be working, maybe you are a freelancer, but you work with suppliers, you work with clients, you can talk to them, you can design new things. So think of your team, how to say, in a broad sense, and this is the situation we are going to explore first. And then we have the second situation, which is in families right now. So let's go to the first one, working from home. First step of the expansive circle, the best. Think of a time of disruption in your life, a moment of crisis which you overcome and feel proud about it. All of us have had this in the past. A time of disruption, difficult times, personal or general, and you overcome it. Maybe yourself, maybe with the help of others. Which moment was it? Think about it. Write in your paper if you have it. What did you do? Who helped you? What makes you so proud of how you overcome it? Which values did you put in place? I give you slightly more than a minute to think about it. This bar is going to last a minute and 15 seconds. Think about it, and if you want, you may share your thoughts in the chat. Take your time. Thinking is a great exercise. Few seconds more. Generosity was key. Trust, belief in myself and others. I have to reinvent myself. I do it by exploring my strengths, very good, and learning new concepts to make the most of them. Laugh, interesting, laugh from others. Being against the wall helps you focus the mind. Okay, imagine having this conversation. We don't have time here. We have done this for a minute and a half. But imagine having this conversation for half an hour with your colleagues in pairs, in small groups, and then sharing the thoughts. You learn a lot. Okay, let's move on to the second step of the expansive circle. Second step, even better. If you and your colleagues right now, today, tomorrow, would apply all these behaviors and values right now, generosity, love, self-confidence, reinvent myself, what would be happening with you and your stakeholders around you and your team? How would you be relating to all your colleagues, your customers, your suppliers? What would you be achieving? After this minute and a half I give you now, I will ask you why I'm asking what all of you would be achieving. Don't be shy, be bold. Think what you can achieve in this quarantine period, even if you are from home. Dream high. This is getting specific in some aspects that I like. Develop new products, do some R&D. They have always pushed back for lack of time, more connection. New world of opportunities, different, but new world for sure. Some of my startup clients make pivots. Value of, hello, Miguel, happy to see you here. Value of having discipline and methodology and schedule for each activity. Okay, we will go to that right now. Sorry, time is over. I know it's interesting, but you can apply this with your teams tomorrow, so you can do this for longer time. Okay, why? I wanted to explain you why I asked, what would all of you be achieving? Why dreaming is important. Most of you know you are probably highly educated people, but what changes today's behavior of people is not pressure of the boss or pressure of the bottom line or even an economic bonus. What changes our behavior today is a very good image of the future, an attractive image of the future. When you have it here, then you move towards it today because you want to achieve it. That's why dreaming is so important, because it's what changes our today behavior, which is what makes us improve. And finally, collective action, working from home. Taking into account what you have thought and what you have read from other attendees in the webinar, you read it in the chat. What can you do to improve your work as a team or with your stakeholders as of today, as of tomorrow? What small things can you put in place today or tomorrow? Why I put the small things in capital letters? Because we tend to think that change happens because of some big projects that whatever the CEO or the big company gurus would do. But if everybody in a company, in a team, starts behaving differently, changes happen. Change happens very, very quickly. These are type of actions that we at Madavi say we don't need neither permission nor forgiveness. We can do them right away today. So the question is, and I start the time now, what can you do today or tomorrow to improve the way you work from home? Ciao Ilenio, piacere di vederti qua. Union of Attempts, or read about new areas. There are I mean, that we can learn. More listening, more Zoom. Yeah, very good. So this is a real exercise, guys. Whatever you are writing down, commit with yourself to do it today or tomorrow. I am doing the webinar. I can do cheap talking. You can't. More how you're doing instead of just efficient. Most important thing is not to allow people to give up. Very good, Jan. The first things we have been doing with teams at Madavi, the first thing that people commented, it's been great to see that we are all together. We are all on the same page and that we are all healthy. Okay, so, and then, okay, they focused on the company's objectives and things they wanted to achieve this time, but that's a great thing. Okay, guys, now I will move to the second application we're going to consider today of the expansive circle, which is the family. Most of us are at home with the family, bigger or smaller families, because sometimes your children are grown up, or you may be alone. In most of the cases, maybe the family is together with the children. That makes situations, let's put it this way, interesting. But you have also the extended family that maybe you are having phone calls or teleconversations with them. So let's explore that. What is happening now in this time that may help you be even better as your family at home? Think of a time in the past, in your family, in which all of you worked together and it was great. A moment when all of you extremely enjoyed being together. Think of that moment, whatever, a wedding, a birthday, a celebration, a weekend family gathering, whatever it is. Which moment was it? What happened? How did you personally contribute? What are you proud of? Which values did you put in place to contribute to that extremely successful, funny, and an excellent moment of family together? Think about it and share your thoughts in the chat. Oops, too quickly. Animation is not working. Interesting. Well, I'll do it with the watch. It's working. Now it's working.
They can share anytime, right, Miguel Angel? They can start sharing their
Yes,
thoughts.
you can share. You can share anytime. Maybe they are sharing. They are thinking of different moments. I have many moments of excellent times with my family.
There you have some answers already.
With food and drinks, of course, of course. You know, I don't know in other countries, guys, but I have. I mean, I have been in the wine business for decades, and people are telling me that in Spain, in the last 4 weeks, more wine has been bought than in Christmas season. Okay, so it works. I mean, it works for different families, listening to each other, sharing from the heart. Okay, very interesting, because also when some member of the family passes away, there are values that make this a very good moment. That's very interesting. It's a difficult time for a family, can be also a moment where the strengths of the family can show. Okay, now even better. If you and your family members would apply all these behaviors and values right now in this situation, what would be happening in your family? How would you be behaving as a family? What would you be achieving today, or let's say a month from now, 2 months from now, when most of this is over, most of it, what would you be achieving? Share your thoughts. More connection. I think I totally agree with that. I'm having a daily Zoom with my family in 6 different locations, 3 different countries. We've never done that on a daily basis. Recalling shared memories, very interesting. Like an niece and something smart she did when she was 6. Shared memories, very interesting. We would focus more on what we appreciate on each other than what might be annoying, respect, generosity. Have time to discuss about the present and the future. Share dreams, Ilenio, I like that very much. I'm learning from you guys. Each one of you, of these things that come out in the chat, you may write them down for you, the ideas that would work for you. Share the dreams. It's really interesting. Koi, if I'm right, we will share the chat with everybody, right?
Yeah, that's right, Miguel Angel.
Okay, so you can have access at the ideas. Okay, then last part of the exercise, family collective action. Taking into account what you have thought and what you have read from the other attendees in the chat, in the webinar, what can you do to improve how you excellence as a family? What small things, again in capital letters, can you put in place today or tomorrow to help achieve that? Share your thoughts in the chat.
Yeah, Jan is right. Please, if you could select in the drop down all panelists and attendees, in this way, everyone can see the chat. Otherwise, we'll make a catch up at the end and put some of the comments that could not be read, but
Okay, you may share, if you wish, your ideas to do this. For me, it was very, very interesting and insightful to share dreams as a family. Dream together, share the dreams, what we can achieve these days and afterwards. I steal that idea. I have I have been doing this not only with my family, but I offered to do the expansive circle with the families of my daughters at school. And we are 14 families doing the expansive circle every week. And we are learning from each other what is working for the kids at home, both to have a great time. And we ask our children as well, and I advise you to do so. So as a family, ask them, hey, what is working for you? What do you like most of what we did? What we have is done in a new way this week. What did you like most? What helped you most to learn, to have a great time, whatever? And because they have their own intelligence, of course, and they see things from their own needs, and you will learn a lot from your children. So interesting conversation, not to criticize, more activities together, playing, cooking. Some of the families are doing, there is a famous TV program here in Spain, which is called Master Chef, which is a championship, and they're doing a championship, a cooking championship at home with children and prizes and everything. You learn a lot from other families, or you learn a lot from your colleagues. Okay, now that we have done this small exercise, thank you for all your comments. I cannot read them all, but now this big picture that you will also receive makes sense, makes a lot of sense, because we're all at home. These yes represent all the strengths, all the learnings that we already have. Each one of us, we are at home, but we have many strengths. Some of them we cannot exercise, but we can exercise others differently and even acquire new more. With the expansive circle, you learn from the best, your experiences, you apply how to even better do it as a team or as a family. And each one of you, children included, if it is for the family, what are you going to do tomorrow? And you say to your daughter, to your son, and they will commit to small things. And they will be very proud of, because when you are really proud of is when you give to others from yourself, okay? And then this expansive circle, what she's looking is for positive deviance with people in your teams, or with your family, or lucky me that I'm learning from other families, what is best working from them. Most of us have the same resources. We are all at home, we cannot go out, we cannot, is what we have at home. What do we do? And some of them will get positive deviance with the children, or positive deviance with their colleagues or with the customers, what they are doing at home. With a client of mine, I applied the expansive circle to the customers. They say, we cannot get more customers. It's a sales company, basically, in telecommunications. And they said, they wanted to apply this to conversations they are having with the customers, phone calls. How are you? What may I be of help? What do you need? And they scheduled some conversations for 3 days. And after 3 days, the whole team met with me to see what they have learned from the conversation, what worked best, think of how to have better conversation with customers the week after, and then each of one made a commitment. And they learn a lot from the conversation they already have. They have better conversations with customers, and then they do the expansive circle again to learn even more. So that's it. This is how you learn. And again, I say, if you apply this, we at Madavi, we are applying this every day. Why? Because in times of disruption, changes, things change so quickly that you need to adapt. You come with new ideas every day. We are trying new things, and we are learning a lot. But if it's not every day, at least every 2-3 days, try this at your family and with your colleagues. Maybe at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, depending on how much energy you have, you ask at your family, what has been working very well yesterday or the last 2-3 days? What can we work even better? And what are we going to do each of us differently? Apply it. After you apply 5, 6 times, it will be part of your DNA. And is when the learning will take place. You will learn from everybody in your family, from all your colleagues. Okay, I think that's it. So just a couple of things more. Please share your thoughts in the chat. Would be very helpful for us. What did you like most? How could this could have been even better? We will probably send you a short questionnaire afterwards, but you may share your thoughts that would inspire everybody else, as you have been doing in the chat. Thank you very much. So what we want the new normal to be is a good thing to think about. Exactly. Keep all these great actions to still make them in the new normal here, and new normal afterwards, because the normal afterwards is not going to be the normal before. Why? Because during these weeks we are learning a lot and we are acquiring new strengths. This is what this is all about. Of course, Ilenio, you are my friend. You can have my slides. Everybody else also, okay? Don't worry. So last thing, so that we finish on time. Here you have our website. If you want to know a bit more about us, Madavi, then at the English part, you can contact us. Beware, it says contacto. Don't forget the O because it's in Spanish. It's not contact at Madavi, but contacto. And because I'm going to offer you a thing. So given the situation we are having right now, we at Madavi at work are working with teams, and even big teams in companies, up to 100 people, all online, to help you put into practice the expansive circle, or to help you achieve whatever learning or whatever improvement you want to achieve in these times. We are doing this for free. We are offering our time during these times of disruption. You just need to contact us, expose your case. This is my case, this is my company, this is my colleagues. Could you help me because of this or that? And then to the best of our availability, and also depending on how much the enhancements for society would that be, we are helping everybody. Okay, I think that's all. Thanks, Koe, for writing it there. And okay, in the meanwhile, thank you for attending, and may the abundance be with you. Thank you very much.